Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. This is Steve Jewin from MMA Mania. I hope I pronounced the name right.
Yeah, kind of, but whatever.
Well, give me the official pronunciation so I'm not a complete ass.
Smealinho.
Smealinho. Okay, thank you very much.
Smealinho, yeah.
And how are your preparations going for your title defense on June 5th?
Good, man. Good, good. I'm just wrapping up fight camp this week, and I feel great. I'm in shape. I feel great, and once I taper this week for the fight, I'm going to feel even better.
I gotta ask, with your performance in the last fight in World Series of Fighting, how are you going to improve upon winning the title in just 51 seconds?
You know, I don't really think about how I'm going to win it. My main objective is to go out there and win. I work on different tools for the fight, so wherever the fight may end up, I always have an answer for anything, right? So I don't mind whether it's in the first or the fifth round. I just want to go out there and do my job and perform well and just come out the winner. That's my main concern. If you go out there looking for knockouts, you're not necessarily going to get them. You just got to go with the flow, and when the opportunity presents itself, you react according to plan, and things will go right. But other than that, I just go out there to win, and however that may be, it'll present itself in the fight.
Yeah, that's a good strategy, and not to mention that we've seen a lot of fighters who go out there looking for a knockout quick. They get tired, and then they get rocked. We've seen it happen to Overeem. We've seen it happen to Rumble. It's like the more you chase it, the quicker you're going to gas.
Yeah, for sure.
At the same time, fans are sort of getting used to it because it's 2 straight fights you finished in the first round now. In fact, I did the math and combined those 2 fights lasted an half a round.
Yeah, but it's my training, right? I have good timing. I manage to catch people coming in, however it may be, but I don't go out there looking for it. I don't go out there brawling and wild and swinging like crazy. I take my time. I'm patient, and I try to keep good vision of the fight and my opponent and what he's doing.
So it's all technical then. There's never going to be any slugfest. You're picking your shot.
All the time. I'm not there to waste my energy. We're in there for 25 minutes. I got nothing but time.
It's true. It is a 5-round title fight, so there's nothing but time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how does it feel that this is the first title defense? Does it feel like there's any extra pressure with that being the case?
No, not really. It's another fight. It's a fight. You know what I mean? Whether it's the first fight or the second one or the 11th fight, it doesn't matter. The title's up for grabs, yesterday's history, right? Tomorrow's up for grabs, so that's the whole deal.
Of course.
I just gotta go out there and win my belt all over again.
How do you feel about Blagoy Ivanov as an opponent? He's obviously coming in very dangerous. He was on the threshold of getting that title in Bellator himself.
Yeah, no, he's a tremendous fighter, tremendous athlete, and it's definitely opponents I want to be facing. I never want to fight any trumps. I always want to fight good opponents because that's where you're valuable. That's where you build your own value. And, it's my job. I have to go out there and fight whoever they put in front of me, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
What do you think is the most dangerous thing he presents to you in this fight?
His aggressiveness. He's a very forward fighter, and he cuts the distance off really fast, and he wants to wrestle and put you on your back, and that's fine. I'm a high-level jiu-jitsu fighter, so, but most people haven't seen me grapple much. But if I end up in that position, I'll always manage to find a way to capitalize.
Well, it seems like the one way to capitalize on Ivanov that we know of is to get his back and choke him, because that's the only thing that's worked to beat him so far. Yeah.
And I've noticed him when he scrambles, he gives his back up really easy, so that's one thing. But I got plenty of submissions up my sleeve, so. The rear naked choke's not the only thing I would go for on him.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm sure you got a million different ways you can finish him if that comes up, but let me ask you a question about the nickname The Prince. Is it because you're so young and so talented?
I don't know. I have no idea. It just came up, and I don't know why it stuck. It doesn't make sense to me, but hey, it works, so it's stuck, and I don't know. People know me as that, and I guess that's what it's going to be.
Well, it definitely makes for a catchy headline when you're writing an article, I won't lie. Well, if you were going to pick a nickname then, what would you say it should be?
I don't know. I don't think too much into picking nicknames. It doesn't matter. If it was my choice, I wouldn't even have a nickname. My name is cool enough as it sounds. I don't know about nicknames. I'm just worried about one thing, and that's training and fighting. So that's where my head's at. What would you pick? What would you pick as a nickname? You tell me.
How about scintillating Smealinho? How about that?
What was that?
Scintillating, like, just one of those words that you used to
Yeah.
hear back in the old boxing days, like succulent
Yeah,
and scintillating.
I love it. I love it already. I'll talk to Sure Dog, try to get it changed.
All right. Well, speaking of Sure Dog, I'm looking at your record there right now, and so far as I can tell, the one guy who's beaten you is a guy that went on to UFC, and that's Anthony Hamilton. So what are your thoughts about where he's gone on with his career since facing you?
He's on his road, and he's doing his thing. I don't know. That's good for him. That's his road, and I'm on my path, right?
Yeah,
I don't think too much about it, and like even the fight itself, it doesn't really bother me because I got caught, right? Like that can happen to anybody, especially in the heavyweight division. So I don't think too much about it, and that could always happen to me or to anybody else. And if I go out there and somebody beats me on like a 5-round decision and they're just blasting me the whole time, then something's wrong. You know what I mean? Then something would be wrong because I'm legitimately losing. But in a fight where you just go out there and do your thing and then you get caught, it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a loss, but what did I really lose, right? I came out, I fought again, I beat an incredible wrestler, I beat a UFC veteran, I managed to get the World Series of Fighting title, now I'm defending the title. And what happened with him, I feel like things are going pretty well for me.
Yeah,
I'm going to continue to train hard and, stay positive and, go out there and perform to the best of my ability.
Absolutely. Things are going well. Like you said, 3 straight wins and you got the heavyweight title now, so they couldn't be much better than that.
Definitely.
What led you to get into mixed martial arts in the first place? What developed your interest in the sport?
I was always athletic. I played a lot of sports growing up and I always had that competitive drive and, I got picked on a little bit and stuff like that and I didn't want that to happen. So it's not necessarily because I got picked on, but I was just always competitive and I was way too competitive and people saw that as aggression, which is weird. Like some people don't understand sports, I guess. But the reality behind sports is when you see a basketball player dunk on somebody, and start screaming, like going crazy, that's because in reality, they want to destroy that person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, when LeBron James takes 2 steps with one hand up and slams in someone's face, he wants to destroy that person. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that was always my way of competing. I would always want to destroy my opponents, right? Not physically destroy them, not like rip them apart or something, but I just want them to quit. I want them to be over with. I want them to not exist anymore in the competition.
It's like Richard Sherman talking to Michael Crabtree. Don't ever try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, because he wanted to destroy him on the field. It was that same, people didn't understand his aggression and his competitiveness, but he was just channeling that inner drive he had to compete.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And that's what it's always been with me. With MMA, it's a little bit more like humbling because you are getting hit, but it's still the same feeling. And I managed to get that out in MMA. And realistically though, I watched, like, I don't want to beat people up, but that's just the name of the game. But what got me into it is I watched, Anderson Silva, like, his first fight in the UFC against Chris Liebman. And I was like, wow. And that like, I'd watched Tito and Chuck and all those fights, but when I watched Anderson make his debut, that's when I really, like, it opened my eyes up. And I was like, man, this is what I need to do. For some reason, it called my name, and I joined up when, May 1st, 2008. And September 21st, 2008, I had my first MMA fight. Of course, I was underage, and it was unsanctioned and stuff like that. And the rules weren't so, well put together, but yeah, it started at a young age for me, and just, it was my competitive drive, and the UFC did a, like, wonderful job, promoting the sport. So I fell for the trick, if you want to call it that.
I suppose so, but given that you fell into the UFC when you watched Anderson Silva and saw the spectacular fights that he had and felt like you could do that too, did you ever see, like, Ultimate Fighter on the horizon and think maybe you could get in that way?
Yeah, I watched the first few seasons, and as soon as as soon as it what's it called, started getting a little bit more dramatic, that's when I just gave it up. I just stopped watching the Ultimate Fighter, and I was like, no, I wouldn't want to go to the Ultimate Fighter.
It got too soap opera, too drama reality show.
It got too dramatic. Like, people were starting to act like idiots, and I just I didn't like that. I didn't want to be part of something like that. Like, how many people really follow the Ultimate Fighter anymore? I guarantee you their views have gone down tremendously. And they have so many going on all the time. They have Ultimate Fighter Brazil, England, whatever. You know what I mean? Africa, I don't know. But there's just so much going on. You can't keep up with it, and it's not available on television anymore. So you can't just tune in and watch it. You know what I mean? You have to go out looking for it. People want things handed to them on a silver platter. So I mean, I'm too occupied with training, so I don't have time to be watching the Ultimate Fighter and whatever, Dancing with the Stars or whatever people watch these days.
No, I completely understand. And yeah, it does feel like Burnout when you get that many seasons of Ultimate Fighter and the formula only changes a little from one season to the next. But it can feel that way sometimes with fights too, because there's a major fight card and sometimes 2 or 3 of them every single weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, with fights though, it's exciting, but as soon as you start adding that drama, it just gets tiring, you know? And don't get me wrong, majority of the people like it, and that's what sells, for sure. It's all about selling, it's all about getting views. But I'm an athlete, I'm a fighter, I'm interested in the fight. If I don't see good people fighting, if I don't see good fights, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
We're never going to see you get into an incident like Cormier and Ryan Bader did at their post-fight press conference. You'll never be in that situation.
Listen, I'll be honest. If somebody gets in my face, I'll slap them. You know what I mean? But I'm not. I don't go out looking for trouble. I just train and do my job. That's what it is. It's a job. That's the way you got to look at it. So I just train, come home, train. If somebody has something to say, come say it to my face, right? If you want confrontation, come say it to my face. I'd like to avoid it, but don't come up to me and don't try to get tough on me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you're not going to get in a Twitter war with anybody either. Like, we won't be seeing tweets about Blue Ivanov on your Twitter.
Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. Like the Naaman fight, he was posting on Twitter every day, talking all this smack, giving out his address, like, bring the belt to my house. And how did that go for him? You know what I mean? Not to sound cocky, but that's what happens. Like, focus on your training, focus on what your job is. Don't focus on, hyping up the fight. If we're making like millions of dollars in pay-per-view money, listen, I'll be the first one to start running my mouth. The more money in my pocket, the better. But if there's nothing that you're going to gain from it, why? Why embarrass yourself like that? Why make yourself look like an idiot, pretty much?
Right, especially when you lose, then you really have to eat crow after that.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's funny with him? He had the nerve to go on Twitter the week after the fight and still talk trash about me. So I'm like, man, you look like an idiot now. But whatever, that's his world, I'm in my world, right? I'm training hard. I'm ready for this fight next week.
Right, and if he really wants to do something about it, let him win 2 or 3 in a row and try to get a rematch with you.
Exactly, that's the name of the game.
Any other thoughts you have about Ivanov? I know you're not a trash talker, I know you're not going to slam him, but, on June 5th, what we can expect at the Edmonton Expo Center?
With me, you never know what you're going to expect. That's the way I can put it. Like I said, I'm prepared for every aspect of the game. I'm prepared to go 5 rounds. I'm prepared to knock somebody out. I'm prepared to grapple somebody out. Submit them. Anything. It doesn't matter. So coming from me, you can expect anything from me, but I can guarantee you it's not going to be a boring fight.
I don't expect it. Like I said, with 3 fights in a row where you've been delivering every single time, this one's not going to be boring either. So everybody should be tuning in to NBC Sports or whatever way they have to get it. I don't know. I don't know what the distribution is in Canada for World Series of Fighting. Is NBC Sports on up there?
No, it's not. It's not. Everybody keeps asking me, and I'm like, man, just pay the ticket and come watch it and everything. But it is difficult. It sucks that they don't make it as available in Canada as they have it in the U.S., but people usually catch it afterwards, but it'd be nice for others to watch it live. But hey, I'm not the television producer.
Right, exactly.
NBC's hearing this, so put it up on Canada so people can watch.
Yeah, get it on the Fight Network or something. Find some way to get it out there. But
they usually short, they'll have highlights. Like the last fight, we left the venue, we went back to the hotel, and the hotel had some sort of a bar downstairs, and my fight highlights were already in the bar, on PSN or whatever.
Nice. That'd be quite the post-fight celebration. Then you got to watch yourself while you were having a drink.
Yeah, it was crazy. People started screaming on it, and there's somebody's pointing at the screen, and I'm looking, and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it was cool, but hey, man, I gotta get back. I gotta get the training. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that I thought. I was like, yeah, it's great. I got this belt. I get to celebrate. I didn't even drink or anything. I went to bed, and it's back to the drawing board. You know, who are they gonna have for me next? How can I improve my game? How can I improve my health? How can I improve my cardio and strength and everything? Just improve as an athlete and altogether.
Well, I don't want to disrupt that training too much because you're very focused and very serious right now. So I'll just say in closing, you already gave the best answer possible is you can't watch it live, so be there live. Just go to the Edmonton Expo Center on June 5th, see you defend the heavyweight title firsthand, and any other sponsorships or plugs that you want to throw in at this time, go ahead.
Oh, definitely, man. You can catch me on Facebook at Smealinho Rama, on Twitter at Super Smealinho, and on Instagram it's Super Smealinho. And, you know, my sponsors are always behind me, never tap. Honestly, like, I'm not just saying this because they're a sponsor, but the material they use for their shirts is incredible. It's like a stretchy kind of bamboo, and it's so soft. It doesn't shrink. It doesn't overstretch. It's incredible. The materials he uses are great. He makes great sweatpants, hoodies, anything you need. What are these guys called, man? Optimum Wellness Center, you know? I get my massage and chiropractic care over there. My, electroshock therapy, my joints are hurting, down here on McCall Trail in Calgary. Royal Empire Jewelry. If you got any custom jewelry you want to get done, hit those guys up. They have tremendous prices. And YAG Nightclub is where the after party is going to be at in Edmonton. So I hope to see everybody there, man. And thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Smealinho, thank you so much. And we look forward to the fight on June 5th at the Edmonton Expo Center on NBC Sports and replays of the highlights on TSN at the post-fight after party.
Definitely.
All right. Take care. Have a good rest of your training camp and best of luck on June 5th.